Hi, my name is Fred Federoff, and my company is Rent Safe Property Management located in Raleigh, North Carolina. Thanks for your visit today. The purpose, or one of our goals during your visit today is to help you get the information you'll need to select the property manager that's really best for you. So let's start with 5 frequently asked questions. One is, what are the cost of our services? Two is, what kinds of services do we offer? Three is, what about all these rental stories, these kind of horror stories that I've heard from my friends and neighbors and family, where tenants have just caused a lot of damage at the property, causing a lot of financial damage to the owner of the property. So really wrapped up in that question is, what kind of systems do we have in place to protect your financial interest in the property? Fourth frequently asked question is, why choose Rent Safe over another property manager? Fifth would be, and this is often unspoken, but would we be really a good fit for you? So let's start with the first question about prices and services. I know it's very frustrating to visit websites and there's really no pricing information. There's very limited detailed information uh, in terms of what types of services that they offer. You'll see on our pricing tab that we have very detailed service information and with no hidden fees, no hidden service fees, and we're very upfront about the pricing models. In fact, we offer 3 different pricing choices. We have what's called a standard plan, then we have a Safe Plus plan, and then we have a Super Safe plan. Basically, the difference between the standard plan and the 2 other plans is that the standard plan does not include any coverages or does not provide any financial protections for loss of rent income or tenant malicious damage to your property. The primary difference between the Safe Plus plan and the Super Safe plan is the amount of financial protections afforded to you in those plans, as well as the amount of protection against tenant malicious damage. For example, the Safe Plus plan has up to 4 weeks in rent continuation and up to $7,000 in legal expenses due to tenant eviction, whereas the Super Safe plan has up to 8 weeks in rent continuation with $7,000 or up to $7,000 in legal defense costs. The other primary difference has to do with malicious tenant damage. The Safe Plus plan will have up to 6 weeks of coverage for tenant malicious damage, whereas the Super Safe plan will have up to 8 weeks of coverage for tenant malicious damage. So back to the question that I'm often asked about tenant malicious damage at the property or just these horror rent stories. And really, again, wrapped up in that question is, what kind of processes or tenant screenings are in place to prevent those kinds of bad things that are happening at your property. And the truth is, as you talk to other property managers, every property manager is going to tell you that they have a good tenant screening program or even a great tenant screening program. And we have a great tenant screening program. So really the better question is, are you going to be able to absorb financially the cost of missing rent if a tenant skips out on a lease, doesn't pay the last few months of rent that's due in the lease, has to be evicted, causes malicious damage at the property because they got angry at somebody that lived in the property or they got angry at you? And the answer to that question is, if you're okay retaining those risks, then our standard plan would be a good fit. But if you want to transfer that risk, then either the Safe Plus plan or the Super Safe plan would be a better fit. In regards to having the right kind of insurance, by the way, when you have a rental property, you really are not going to have a what's called a homeowner policy. Instead, you're going to have a landlord policy. And those landlord policies do not offer any of the special coverages that I mentioned in reference to rent continuation and tenant malicious damage. The only way to get those kinds of coverages would be to use a qualified property manager who is an approved provider of the SureVestor insurance program. So let's get to FAQ number 4, and that is, would we be a good fit for you? Actually, that's question number 5. Number 4 is, why choose Rent Safe Property Management over another company? And what I can share with you there is what other people have told me, and that is that they like the fact that all of our plans, even the standard plan, include 3 service guarantees. One would be the guarantee to rent your property in 30 days or less. The second would be the tenant replacement guarantee, where we'll find you a new tenant if a tenant failed at no cost to you. And third would be the $1,000 pet damage guarantee. All those guarantees are further explained in other videos. So if you have an interest in hearing more details about any of those three service guarantees, please view our other videos on those subject matters. So finally, back to the frequently asked question about whether or not we'd be a good fit for you. And let me share with you basically two types of property management models in our industry. The first is kind of more of a broker assist model, and that's where basically the broker carries out all the requests of the landlord, meaning that if a maintenance request comes in, the broker assist model would bring the request to the landlord, and that landlord would provide instructions to the broker about how to carry out the maintenance request. Same type of thing would be true for the tenants, although in the broker assist model, the tenant or the broker would do some of the initial screening. The final approval of the tenant would be really on that landlord. So again, the broker assist model is the landlord is really managing the property and is involved in the day-to-day operations of the property, and the broker is really there just to assist the landlord. So then the second type is more of a managed property, where that manager kind of has a limited power of attorney to act in your best financial interest, and that manager would use their long-standing experience in property management. They would use their understanding of federal fair housing laws, their understanding of local ordinances and other compliance requirements to make your property rent ready and safe. So in that style, that manager acts again within their scope of authority, the limited spending authority for maintenance requests. And so when a maintenance request came in, then in that style, the manager would approve it if it's a valid maintenance request. It would only need to reach back out to you if the spending on that particular maintenance request would exceed their limited authority. Same idea true on tenant screening. The manager style, the manager would use their long-standing experience in screening tenants, would approve the tenant, prepare the lease, and would then send you the lease, and would again only need to reach out to you in the event that there are some special circumstances. Thanks again for taking the time to visit us. If you would like to set up a free consultation on trying to understand which plan is best for you, or if you have some ideas on topics we could cover to help provide valuable content on our website, please reach out to us by calling us at 919-794-4772, or you can send me an email using fred@rentsafepm.com. Thank you.